Welcome to our first team call. Okay, so we are going to talk about the Success Club system tracker tonight. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I really believe in how this can help build your business. But first of all, it might be helpful to talk about what Success Club is in case you just need a refresher. And the Success Club system started in 2010, and they found that the people who successfully completed or successfully qualified for Success Club 5, every month after month, their paychecks increased by an average of 135%. So when they put this into place, they said, okay, this obviously works. Let's continue this. And, obviously, as you know, if you hit Success Club 5, you get customer leads from Beachbody, which is pretty cool. So we know that from Success Club points, those are lives being changed because those people are signing up for the long term. Those are people like I did. When I signed up as a coach, and I wanted to get that discount on Shakeology every single month. So that wasn't like a 3-week thing or a month-long thing for me. That was long-term. So that's why we say when people are signing up for a challenge pack, we're changing their lives because it's hopefully for the long term. So then when they came out with this tracker, they did their homework. They tested this for months. And the people who followed this tracker were the people who were then hitting Success Club, changing the lives, and also changing their income, changing, how many lives they were changing, and all of that. So a couple weeks ago, as you guys saw that I posted my tracker, and Carl Deichler commented and said, you're not filling out the top here. And he was totally right. It's really important that when I turn this page every week, you sit there and you think, what is your why and who is your market? Who are you trying to help? And so that's where the tracker starts. You have to start it right at the top. What is your why? Why are you doing this? And what is your goal? If your goal, and we all know that there's many different levels of being a coach. And if your goal is to be a coach and change all the lives, change your family's financial future, freedom, and all of that, you want to be focusing a lot of your time on filling this tracker. But the thing is that you don't have to spend so much time to check the boxes. So I would, every time you turn the page, and the week starts on Thursday, you sit and you think about your why. So my why is to help all people live their happiest and healthiest lives. And it's also to sell my house and pay off my debt. That's what keeps me going. That's what makes me focused on my business every single day. And then my target market is busy moms who need confidence, community, and something for themselves, because this has given me so much. So then, and I just want to go down it. Do you guys have yours in front of you? Okay. So the top, workout and drink Shakeology. That's pretty straightforward. As a coach, if you're building your business, you should be doing a program and following that program. Obviously there's gives and takes and days that you might take off and switch around, but for the most part, you're doing a program, you're following some kind of program, and there's so many different ones to choose from. And then drinking your Shakeology every day. So then we go down to the connect, invite, and follow up. So initiate connections and add followers. So to me, that means, so I'm continuously adding people on Instagram all the time. I usually will go onto my Instagram, and maybe I can even show you guys. But I go into the section here, like where the likes are, and whoever has followed me or is liking my posts, I click on them. I see if there's somebody that I can connect with, if I relate to. I follow them and I send them a message, either thanks for the follow or thanks for the love on my post, whatever it is or happens to be. And I try to do that for at least 3 people a day. And then on Facebook, I'm also continuously adding people, whether it's from groups that I'm a part of or people that come up that are suggested to me. Sometimes like they're often in like my running groups or something. So I'll click on them. If they're not a coach, an active coach, or if there's somebody that I feel like I might have something in common with, like a mom or something, I'll add them as a friend. Just shoot out a, message to them. How was your weekend or whatever? Happy birthday if it happens to be their birthday. So that's the initiating connections and adding followers. I do not think that you need 20 minutes for that. I would say 5 minutes is totally adequate, depending on where you are or where you want to be.
Do you immediately message them when you follow them or when you add them? Like the same
Sometimes with Facebook, when I add people, I'll just add them into my connection builder. And then 2 weeks later, I might say hi, or maybe I'll wait if a birthday is coming up or something and I can see that. But with Instagram, I usually do. Instagram, I put people in there to contact and follow up faster than I do with Facebook. And I don't really, there's no rhyme or reason why I do that. I feel like maybe it's faster moving on Instagram or something. I don't know, but I follow up with people 2 weeks after that. So that's the initiate connections. As I said, 5 minutes I think is adequate. I know that a lot of people put a lot of energy into Instagram. I have a service that does a little bit of that for me, but I do try to, do as much as I can that way. So then the social media post. So in using Instagram stories more, I am only doing one post a day. I do one post a day that goes to my Facebook like page and one post a day that goes to my Instagram. If I'm inspired by something or I feel like I need to get it off my chest, then I do. But you don't need to. One is adequate. And I try to make it, if I know that it's going to be one, I try to make it powerful or, inspirational. But, as long as you are including the hashtags on Instagram, I think you're good to go that way. I think it's really important in Instagram to build that way, to at least do one post a day. And I mean, here I'm less rigid. I don't feel like it always has to be a call to action, but if it's something about your life now or, what it's done for you or how it's changed you or whatever. Hi, Heather. I don't know why I'm waving. I can say hi. Something positive, that is about your healthy lifestyle. I think that's a pretty broad thing. And again, 10 minutes is not necessary for that. I know Marjorie probably pops out 10 posts in 10 minutes, she just has lots of thoughts. So, I certainly don't think it always has to take 10 minutes. So then the stories. So as you guys know, I wake up every single day and I do my energize. I'm making my energize. That's my first thing that I do every day. So literally I wake up and I can pretty much cross off product use because I'm showing that right away. And then it goes down, I go down to do my workout. So then I do my workout clips. Again, this doesn't have to be super complicated. Everybody does it in their own kind of way. I do 3 moves and I condense those moves into a 15-second quick video for my stories. And that doesn't take very long. After that, since we do those Zoom workouts in the mornings, it's super easy because we have recognition and shout out right part of that. So I'm just skipping over a little bit in this blurb, but I'm just showing how right away in the morning I have that. Oh, and also when I do the workout clip, I've been doing the poll right on there. So every single day, my Energize is done in that morning. Then it goes to workout clips and I have the poll. The poll is the call to action. Do you want to be part of what I'm doing yet? Fitness, nutrition, or coaching opportunity? And then I post the group shot of the morning workout, which is shouting out every single person that's joined our workout. So right away, all of those are checked off. And daily life is super easy for me. I'm just used to sharing my life on Instagram. So I share something about my story or my day, whether it's silly, whether it's mom stuff or whatever. That is all in there. So then the rest really comes from the power hour. So when I sit down to do my power hour, I am inviting to a challenge group or to learning about coaching. So as you guys know, like this past 2 weeks, I've been really focusing on inviting to coaching. So that is, what I'm doing to invite. And part of my power hour too is following up with people I've invited. So that's just the following up piece. And you can start these conversations and invite from your likes, comments, and views. So it's important to every single day when you start doing your work, you go to those posts that you did the day before. See who's commented, see who's liked it. If you haven't written back and commented, do it, because then it can boost the engagement for somebody else to see that may not have seen it yet. And it's also letting you know who's watching you. And maybe they don't, a lot of people watch and don't comment and like, but certainly the ones who do, make sure you reach out to them and say, hey, like, thank you for the support. Like, what are your goals, or do you need help, or, whatever the case may be. And then contributing to your challenge group. So are you posting your sweaty selfie after your workout? Contribute to your challenge group that way. So recognizing achievement, I was really struggling with that for weeks. I just didn't really know what to do. And there are a multitude of ways to be creative about this. So what I will do with recognizing achievement is taking the top contributors of the challenge groups, who's participating the most. You guys saw yesterday, Liz and Kimberly did the naked run. I'm going to shout out, you're running naked in a 5K. Like, so any kind of achievement. Did you, do all your workouts? Heather just finished Transform 20. I've been meaning to do a post about that. Any of those things, yay. That girl, Carice Taylor, she posted that thing on her wall about finishing Lift 4. So I did that on Instagram, but I'll probably make a post about that at some point too. So there are different ways to do it. I do like that one about contributing to the challenge group. I think that, especially for the people who are competitive and they do contribute, they might see that and say, I'm going to be the top competitor, or I want to be recognized that way. So there are ways to be creative with that. I still see gaps in my tracker on that one more than anything else, but I think it's just finding ways to shout people out. And I think also it's a matter of of giving respect. Some people might post in a challenge group, but they may not want that publicly. So, I try to be mindful of that. And if it's somebody that I'm not sure if they would want their business on my big Facebook page, like, I need to ask them first. So there's always that. And then responding to questions from customers and coaches, that comes easily to me from my power hour too, because I'm reaching out to everybody at that time, or I'm talking to them. So, or you're answering your messages. We're not that overwhelmed at this point that we can't respond to people. But it's also a matter of going into that challenge group and seeing, did somebody ask a question? Did they get their needs met? It's really nice at this point in my virtual gym because other people do answer each other's questions and support each other. So there's less of that pressure. But when you are running a challenge group and you're that main person, you have to make sure that the people are getting their, questions answered. So then engaging in personal and professional development, that's a no-brainer. You guys know that. You read, you listen to Audible. I've been trying to use the podcast more, which is super helpful. Like, I've been just doing it around the house and I'm getting in so much more than I did before, which I think I had kind of let slide for a while. But actually sitting down to read a book is not something I often do. So I need to find those pockets of time where I'm listening to things that are really helpful. And even if I'm not like 100% involved, I'm hearing it, I'm, absorbing it. Maybe I'm not taking notes, but I'm still engaging with it. So then the other one, what is the other one that I pop back up to? Oh, the healthy meal on Instagram. What I do with that is I either will show what I'm eating and I will just use the containers to show how I've measured it for Ultimate Portion Fix. And that's, I think, it. So questions, what do you guys have questions about?
All right, I made a list.
Yeah, hit me up.
Well, you answered some of it. First thing was the initiating contact. So you do both Instagram and Facebook. So you may know in like groups, like I'm in a bunch of pharmacist moms groups and things. The groups, do you look for people that are talking about either fitness or challenges that you think you might fit, or just people that look like they'd be a good personality fit? Or are you looking to fill a need at that point, or just adding people?
No. I will just look, I will do like, I don't do as much on Facebook as I used to, but I will go and I will look at that section. Where is that section that says like suggestions? Oh, here it is, like people you may know. So sometimes I'll just look through here, and sometimes people will pop up and I'll say, okay, what is this chick about? I try not to judge, but I mean, if it's somebody who's really involved with like Arbonne or Runnin Fields, like I'm not gonna mess with them. But if it's somebody that I look and could have something in common with, or we have a shitload of mutual friends, like this girl I have 16 mutual friends with. Chances are she's probably somebody I grew up with in Simsbury. You know, I went to Stoneleigh with her. Do you know her, Marjorie? Megan Fitzgerald? Sometimes I'll do that too. I'll see if like any of you guys or anybody I know has a mutual friend, because you know the running community, the high school can be small. Like I don't want to step on toes that way. So, but I won't spend too much time doing it. Like, is she a mom? Does she like to run? Like, what's her thing? And add it and not, you know.
And then you immediately put it in my connection builder, so you'll follow up.
Yeah, sometimes in like the moms group, there's like a big Connecticut moms group, and sometimes there'll be like a weight loss post, and it will come up in my feed, and I'll see it, and I'll friend the person who asked about it. I'll friend some people that like look like they might be interested in something like that within the post, that kind of thing, you know. So just within different groups that pop up. Just to add people in the funnel, and you know, hopefully they'll start looking at your stuff and talk that way.
Can I keep going with my more questions?
Go.
The next thing was responding to all new likes, comments, views, etc. So, I mean, like views on stories and things like that, it's the same people always over and over and over again. So,
Yeah.
like periodically checking back in with them and continuing conversations. But what about when it's like a post about just family life, like my kids, you know, like graduation or the prom? You know, I try to respond to everyone in the post, you know, if they just to have that engagement. But at what point do you, you know, reach out to them off, you know, when it's
right away? I would respond. I try to respond so I respond to the post itself and I privately message them. Because when you privately message them, your stuff's going to show up in their feed more often. Facebook is going to show them, because they see you talking privately, that you guys are actively engaged with each other. So I have that in my head all the time. So I always am messaging people. So do that. So I would respond on the post so that it gets pushed up, so the engagement gets higher, and also behind the scenes so that they see your stuff more often. And you see that conversation.
You know, oh, you know, your kids are graduating, or what are you doing for the summer, that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the thing about like challenge group, where is it? Like contributing to the challenge group. All right, here's where I get overwhelmed, and then I just shut down and like quit. Because looking at like when you post, and I know I'm not you, but like we'll work out in the morning and we'll do the shout out to everyone that worked out, but you'll be on like the Transform group, the Fit and Fierce group, your fitness adventures, my virtual gym, your like pages, like, you know,
so
all different things, or like do the same post everywhere, or just, you know, pick and choose?
I would add something, whether it's later your walk with your dog, or, you know, if you want to post that morning the picture, like let me know and I'll shut up. when I would say contribute to your challenge group, my definition of it is like a post, like and I haven't been doing a lot of those, so I can't even tell you, but I've been copying Carrie's from her challenge, the summer shred thing. But when I started running challenge groups, we had like challenge group guides, and we would each be responsible for a day, and it would be, hydration day. Like, this is why hydration is important. And I have tons of Google Docs filled with these. I got really bored with them because I was doing them all the time. Beachbody has them in the back office too, just challenge group guides specific to programs, multi-level guides. And it just gives a lot of information. I feel like when it says contribute to your challenge group, it's beyond the sweaty selfie. It is something of value, a tip or a trick, or this is something that works for me. When I check off contribute to your challenge group, that's what I mean.
Okay, and now, because we're basically in your challenge group,
Yeah.
is that something where we should go into the back office and pick something out to contribute to that, or just continue to watch yours and be prepared that once we get our own, that's something?
No, I say go ahead. I struggle with saying do it daily because I think that could be overwhelming. But I think in part of our challenge group, I say contribute could be responding to somebody.
Okay.
Writing back to somebody to encourage them to continue working out, or congratulate them on something they've done, or that type of thing. Like, some kind of addition that you're giving value.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yep. And then recognizing achievement, you kind of answered that, like, recognizing achievement, you gave the list. I got that. And then the other thing was just the shout out.
Yeah. I mean, the achievement was tough for me, as I said, because I felt like it's something that a top level coach does. Like, you can shout out when somebody goes and is a star diamond. You can shout out when they've increased their income times 12, when they've retired their husband. But in reality, it can be, this person did their workout today and they didn't think they'd be able to. Or Cheryl woke up when her alarm went off without snoozing it. Like that, no, that's achievement. That's achievement. So at any level, I think we just have to remember that small steps, like we always talk about, are big steps. So all of that should be shouted out. So it really is, it's an easy one when you think about it, but it just stumped me up for a while. I don't know. I was just like a deer in headlights. What's achievement?
All right. That was my list right now.
Yeah. And as I said, the recognition shout out, that became super easy because of the workouts in the morning. Before that, I struggled with that one too, but you could always make your recognizing achievement go into recognition and shout out. So, I mean, and I've said this before, I think that the point is as long as you have most of these done, or do you know what I'm saying? Like more checked than not, you're off to a good start. You're getting that momentum going. Some of these are harder and come with time, but those basic things, the inviting, the posting, the talking to people, that's the important stuff, the personal development. I just like this because it gives such a concise way to say, I'm doing all the things. I should be hitting Success Club, and I am hitting Success Club with this tracker, Do you have questions?
I'm just thinking to myself about how I don't know where my tracker book went. It's in one of the piles. It's in one of the piles. The couple weeks that I did use it, I really did like how it helped, and then I fell off the bandwagon. And I think part of it was like some of those harder ones where I feel like, well, I don't have any people, so how do I, contribute to the challenge group, or how do I like shout people out when there's like nobody?
Well, and I think that this piece that, and I think this is why this piece is so important up here, your why and your target. These things influence what's important here. And so what's important for you right now may not be responding to customers and coaches, recognizing achievement, contributing to your challenge group. You're going to really want to focus on doing your workout and drinking the shake, adding followers and talking to them, doing your post, doing your stories, and responding to your likes and inviting. Do you know what I mean? So I would say like 1 and 2 is the most important, and then the 4. The 3 will come when you have the people. Because it is hard. You need the people to get the results, to get this continuum going. But which I do get why that's overwhelming at first. So just maybe even when you find your book, just highlight the ones that you need to focus on and don't worry about the others. Yeah. We can figure out exactly which ones, are the best ones for you. But the point is that the consistency, this helps so much with the consistency. And this is what I really would say, I would honestly tell somebody, if you had a half an hour besides your workout and did this consistently, you are getting a good momentum going. A half hour. Cheryl looks like she wants to say something.
No, I'm trying to figure out the half hour. But the other thing about the recognized achievement or the shout outs, as we're adding followers and we see people that are doing things, is it good to get into practice even though they're not doing our program, but maybe they said they went out for a walk or
yes,
they ate great today, and doesn't that feel great, or just something like that.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Being an encourager and a supporter, I think that that's a huge thing, regardless of whether somebody is even a customer or becomes a customer. They want to get, and that's something, this is kind of off topic, but it's been on my brain lately, is that when I used to freeze, when I would message somebody and they would say they were a coach, I would get so scared, oh my God, I've just talked to a coach. That's great. This is somebody that's already hooked up to our wonderful world, and it's just another friend that we have. So nowadays I look at it and, we want to be encouragers. We want to be helpful. We know from the leaders of this business that we share the knowledge that we have because we want everyone to succeed. And so now, when I find a coach, I'm like, yay, will I see you at Summit? And half of them are scared to death because I think they're having that deer in headlights, this is a coach. But, we want to help all the people. And even if that's, a coach, that's great too. We want to support everybody. Everyone. Any other questions?
My dog is barking. I have a question about posts. You talked about Marjorie just come up with all these posts that are amazing. Do you plan out your posts at the beginning of the week, or do you just kind of do it on the fly? So that's
do I or Marjorie?
All day trying to come up with something on the fly, I just get frozen, and then it's 10 o'clock at night before I get to it.
I don't know if Marjorie can answer. Can you answer? You don't have to answer. Can you answer? Okay. I'm not going to answer for her, but I'll answer for me. First of all, I need to post by 9 a.m. or else I will I'll feel lost all day, and I'll get in my head that I have nothing to post, and then I won't be able to post. So I have to come up with something early. But sometimes I do have a list. Sometimes I'll make a list and I'll say, this is something that I can write about when I'm struggling. More often than not, if something comes to me, I have to do it then, it's in my head and I have to get it out. But that's habit of knowing that I have to have things. So that could be, I'm so excited to have a team call tonight. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to talk about that because that's something that's fresh in my mind and I'm fired up about it. I would imagine that Marjorie feels them and thinks them and needs to get them out, but I'll let her answer whenever she can. But it's habit. It really is habit,
I sometimes, if I happen to have a couple good thoughts, I'll jot them down as quick as I can and save them, and then
Yeah.
post them on subsequent days when I have no thoughts in my head at all.
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard because like sometimes I'll feel really passionately about something and write it down. And then when I go to write it, I don't feel as passionately about it. And that's just a lesson for me that sometimes I just have. So sometimes I'll write in my email now. Like if I've had too many posts for one day, I'll write it in email to myself. And then I'll have it all written out, passion filled, ready to go for the next time.
Yeah, I have several notes in my like memo pad app that are just each one is a new post idea.
Yeah. And if you're struggling with posts, we have, I think, some stuff from the Jesse training. Don't we have good documents from that? I should post them. I'll post
I
them in our,
think so. I don't know where mine are. I can find them.
but there's a lot of good ideas. And you guys can always remember that interview with each other.
Yes, remember that, Melissa?
I remember that.
We're supposed to do that, Marjorie. We got to do that at some point.
You can do it on our road trip.
Then we'll have an audience. I don't know if that's good. More nervous.
At that point, who cares, right? All right, guys, this is exciting. Anyone else have questions? Do you feel like you are knowing what to do?
Better. It's just finding the time now. Now that I got the morning routine, I can't wait another week. The kids will be out of school, and that will build in another half an hour in the morning. So
Yeah.
that'll help.
I just need
I
to
won't
do
have to worry
things.
about getting them.
You're like on a roll with your stories and stuff.
Not doing too bad on that.
No, it's good. Like, and like you like eat really well too. Like you're really good with your nutrition.
Most of the time, not this past weekend.
Mine was bad today. I'm like, I have nothing I can show. Like it's
Yeah, that was me today too.
yellows. Like 5 yellows.
I was like, ice cream right after my workout. Yes, that's a good life choice.
I love it. All right, let's do a pick. Oh, let's stop the recording too. Do I want to stop the recording? Yes, I